When Emma and Jack moved into the old Victorian house on Maple Street, they were excited to start their new life together. The house, though a bit run down, had a charm that captivated them. High ceilings, intricate woodwork, and stained glass windows. Each detail was a testament to the craftsmanship of a bygone era. The price had been surprisingly affordable, and they couldn't believe their luck. The first few weeks went by in a flurry of unpacking and settling in. They laughed about the creaky floorboards and the drafty rooms, attributing it all to the house's age. But as the novelty wore off, they began to notice peculiar things. It started with the noises. At first, it was just the occasional creak or thud, easily dismissed as the house settling. But soon, the sounds grew more distinct. Footsteps echoing in the hall when no one was there, whispers just at the edge of hearing, and the unmistakable sound of a door opening and closing. One evening, Emma was alone in the house, reading a book in the living room. Jack had gone out to pick up dinner. As she sat there, she heard a soft, shuffling sound coming from the hallway. She called out, thinking Jack had returned, but there was no answer. The shuffling grew louder, closer. Emma's heart pounded as she got up to investigate. She stepped into the hallway, her footsteps echoing on the wooden floor. The light was dim, casting long shadows. She walked toward the source of the sound, but found nothing. As she turned to go back to the living room, she saw it. A dark, indistinct figure standing at the end of the hallway. Emma froze. Her breath caught in her throat. The figure didn't move, didn't make a sound. It was just there. She blinked, and it was gone. She hurried back to the living room and called Jack, urging him to come home quickly. He arrived to find her pale and shaken, but the figure was gone, and there were no signs of an intruder. The incidents escalated. Jack began to experience the phenomena as well. Objects would move on their own, lights flickered, and the temperature would drop suddenly, leaving a chill that seemed to seep into their bones. They started finding strange symbols drawn in the dust on the furniture, symbols neither of them recognized. One night, unable to sleep, Jack decided to investigate the attic. Emma stayed downstairs, too frightened to join him. As Jack climbed the narrow staircase, the air grew colder. He reached the attic and pulled the cord for the single light bulb. The dim light cast eerie shadows across the room. Jack searched through old trunks and boxes, looking for anything that might explain the disturbances. He found a dusty journal, its pages brittle with age. As he read through it, he discovered it belonged to a previous owner, a man named Edward Hastings, who had lived in the house in the early 1900s. The journal detailed Hastings' descent into madness. He wrote about a shadowy figure that haunted him, whispering dark secrets and driving him to paranoia. Hastings described how the figure would appear at the end of the hallway, just as Emma had seen it. His last entry was a frantic scrawl, barely legible. "The shadow is here. It won't let me go." Jack's hands trembled as he closed the journal. He hurried back downstairs, sharing his discovery with Emma. They decided to contact a local historian and a paranormal investigator to learn more about the house and its history. The historian revealed that Edward Hastings had been found dead in the house, an apparent suicide. The house had changed hands many times since then, with each owner reporting strange occurrences before selling it. The paranormal investigator conducted a thorough investigation, using various instruments to measure changes in temperature, electromagnetic fields, and other signs of paranormal activity. During the investigation, the shadowy figure appeared again, this time to both Emma and Jack. The investigator captured the figure on camera, a dark, humanoid shape with glowing eyes. They realized that the shadow was not just a ghost, but something far more sinister, an entity feeding off their fear and distress. With the investigators' help, Emma and Jack performed a cleansing ritual, hoping to banish the entity. The house grew eerily quiet afterward, and for a time, it seemed the haunting had ended. But deep down, Emma and Jack knew the shadow was still there, lurking in the corners, waiting for the right moment to return. They eventually decided to move, unable to bear the constant fear and uncertainty. The house on Maple Street remains vacant to this day, a dark presence lingering within its walls, waiting for the next unsuspecting victims to claim as its own.